Wait, hold on. Hey, what's up, everybody? Look, I just went to the theater and saw a very, very, very good movie, and I thought I should hop on here and share this with y'all. But I couldn't do this alone, so I had to call in some backup. I have a very special guest. Hold on, let me call him. Cuckoo! Look who it is. It's Ramea Williams. Okay, so we just went and saw
King David versus Goliath.
Well, the name of the movie is David. So, Ramea, tell me, how did you like the movie?
It was good.
Yeah?
It had a little bit of death.
Had a little bit of death in it?
Mm-hmm.
What did you like most about the movie?
When he was grown and when he was a little boy.
Nice. And what message did you get from this really good movie that we just watched?
So the message that I got is that we shall never be afraid of anything, and we shall obey God.
That is very good. I'm happy that you got that message.
Mm-hmm.
What about how he was able to trust God to defeat Goliath?
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. So out of 10, how much do you give that movie?
100 out of 10.
There you go. That means it was a really good movie. So you suggest that other kids should go see it?
I suggest other kids should go see it.
Well, there you have it. From Ramea himself. I love going to the movies with you, buddy.
Me too.
Alright. Go to bed.
No.
Love you, buddy. See ya.
See ya.
And just like that, I'm back. What's up, everybody? It's your boy RyianInspires, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and we're talking about David. So, today was the premiere, the premiere release date of David, right? So we traveling soon, so we decided we wanted to go look at this movie, and I agree with Ramea. 100 out of 10, 1,000 out of 10. This movie was a great movie. It was done well. I took some notes to tell you all what I thought about it. And I'm not no big movie critic or movie expert, but I do know that it had a great storyline, which is already in the Bible, but it was well animated, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. So just a little bit of background. Ramea is 7 years old, and him in the theater, he did have some questions. Now, the reason being is because he has a Bible, but his Bible is very high level. So he knew that he knew it had a King David. He knew that King David was anointed to become, president, king. He knew that King David fought a lion. He knew that King David fought Goliath. So these are the things he knew. In the movie, they went into Saul. So I had to break down King Saul, who that was. I had to break down the prophet Samuel, who anointed David. I had to break down who that was and give context to that as well, and also explain to him why they were pouring oil on his head. So those type of things I did have to explain. So if your kid is not not to that age where they're reading a full Bible and understanding the full story, then you're going to have to do some explaining, or you can give that detail beforehand. So I figured if I did explain to him, hey, here's what to expect, he's going to do this, and this, because this is in the Bible, then he may have had less questions, but he would have still had questions nonetheless. One of the things I did find cool, they were using words like shalom for peace, and also Adonai for the name of God. And they were also singing in that, I think it's Arabic native tongue. And that is, the prophet Samuel was singing in that language. And Ramea was not, I didn't know what he was saying either. But it was like, okay, Dad, what is he? Was he speaking another language? Just breaking it down for him. And the other thing was the context of the different people. So it was very there's different. So there's the Philistines, the I forget what's the other people named Armamites or something like that, right? Can't remember now, but explaining that they would, they're from different countries, and that's what they would go to battle with each other. So explaining those things to him, he did have questions throughout the movie, but it wasn't anything. He wasn't lost. He was never at not one point he was lost. It was just questions to try and understand what was happening in context. It wasn't like he didn't know what was happening. It was just like, okay, what context is this? Who is that to David? Stuff like that. So that's the first thing. Make sure you go through the story with your kid. I'm thinking if your kid is older, maybe like 10, 11, 12, 13 and onwards, they should know, and you would probably be less explaining. But younger, unless you already went through that with them, you're going to have to do some explaining. All right, let's see. And I really hope I got that correct, that he was saying those things in Arabic. I think it is. I don't know. All right, so the other thing was that there are parts in the movie that startled Ramea a little bit. Now, Ramea is naturally a jumpy kid, but there were things in there where, as soon as you pair like anything dark, not necessarily dark as in like evil, but like a dark image, like it lowers light, and then there's that deep sound. You'll know the sound, like the deep sound, like something is about to happen. That always gets him. So there were parts like that in the movie. So if your kid is naturally jumpy, be aware of that. That's going to be in there. It is the Bible. They were battling. You didn't get to see anybody cutting anybody's heads off like it was Game of Thrones, but there was that like suspension building and all those things as well. So Ramea did get jumpy and a little bit startled a couple of times. Now the next thing is, oh yeah, so I didn't want to say this while he was there, but he did cry twice. I ain't talking about like just a tear running down the Denzel tear. I'm talking about boo-hoo crying. For real though. So if your kid is like one of those kids who are very sensitive and empathetic, because we all, if you know the story of David, Saul was chasing him and he had to be banished from the land and Saul was trying to kill him and all these things, Ramea like felt all of that and just started bawling, like to the point where we had to console him and quiet him down in the theater. Like, bro, we're not at home. Take a deep breath and breathe. Ramea, you know the story. He's going to end up king. It's okay, buddy. It's going to all work out in the end. But nah, he feels hard. So if your kid is like that, just know you could see some waterworks in the theater. Now, I have to clap this up. The animation of this movie, the attention to detail of this movie, I mean, 1,000% on point, 1,000% create they had hair on Goliath's arm. And it's a weird thing to bring up, but I wasn't expecting to see that level of detail. The inscriptions on their shields and different inscriptions in rocks and different places like that, you're seeing the attention to detail and you're just like, yo, y'all really took your time with this. There was a part of the movie where I saw B-roll. Like they were flipping through and it was like legit B-roll, like somebody who's like you would see drone footage and stuff. There was like legit B-roll. And we don't see that in cartoons. That's why I said they did a really good job producing and animating this. So a big shout out to them for that, because you could tell that it's not just, oh, it's a Bible thing, Christians are going to support. Nah, it's actually quality that they're putting out. So that was good. The next thing is, I thought that they did an awesome job portraying David's characters. So like his bravery, we all know the bravery with being able to step up to go and slay Goliath. They displayed that really well. They also displayed like how he could have been in his mindset double dutching when he was anointed king. I feel like Ramea related to that because we had a small conversation about that while it happened in the movie. So I thought they did a really good job of capturing that. Like, look, yeah, you could still be afraid of doing something, but still do it. So I thought that connected with him as a 7-year-old kid. His leadership, of course, showing his shepherd, how he was a shepherd of sheep and then a shepherd of the people, showing that level of leadership. I thought he did a good job. And obviously his musical skills. This is a musical. So just like Moana and Frozen and those movies where they just break out into song, this is the movie that they do that as well. And hopefully the songs stick. None of these songs were corny. None of them were random. None of them were weird. It was good songs that I'm hoping sticks in Ramea's head, and then he will start requesting them from Alexa here at home. Because if he could request Moana, You're Welcome 15,000 times, then he could request the light song that we heard in David 15,000 times. And I will be very happy with that. So I thought they did a really good job with one, the animation, two, with the portraying of David's character, like, as I said, his bravery, his leadership, his musical skills, etc. The last thing that I would say is that the movie is not too long. So we went at 7:30. We were out of there by 9:30ish. So it's about 2 hours, and obviously it had the pre. So it's not too long. It kept the attention of Ramea. So there were obviously a bunch of other kids in there. There wasn't any kids like talking or like not paying attention. So it captured the attention of the kids. I strongly believe that movie could range between a young kid who's maybe 5, I don't know, 4 much, but 5, and then all the way to, I don't know, 15, where the 15-year-old won't feel like they're watching a kid movie, and then the 5-year-old could still keep up and it will hold their attention for the 2 hours, right? So I thought that is definitely something that they did a really good job to where it will capture that audience. The ending of the movie, they gave you the opportunity to pay it forward. I thought that was dope because there's so many other kids who can't afford or who don't have the resources to go to a movie theater and see a movie like this, and they gave that opportunity, and I definitely took advantage of that because I thought it was a great idea having that there. They spend the money to create this movie. It's not in all the theaters. We didn't even go to the normal theater we went to a different theater just to see this. So I'm happy that they're having they had the wisdom to put that QR code at the end of the movie to be able to pay it forward to a kid so that a kid could go see it who may not have the resources. I really hope that this movie does create, because we need more movies like this, Christian movies that could be supported by Christian people and people who want to know more about the stories of the Bible. I really hope that, I think on Rotten Tomato right now it's at like 70% or whatever. I think it's 100%, and we as Christians, we definitely need to go out and support this movie, make sure that it's blown up, make sure it brings in a bunch of box office money so that they'll start funding more movies like this, more cartoons like this, etc. Even though I think they have their own producing studio, I think it's Angel, I believe it is. Hopefully it could come out on streaming and we could, start having watch parties at home to watch this with our friends, etc. So that's it. That's all I'm gonna say about this movie. A great movie. 1,000 out of 10. I'll go even a step above Ramea. I'll say 1,000 out of 10. Highly recommend. Go see it. Go with your kids. Go with your kids' friends. You as an adult could go see it too. I don't think it's something that adults can't go see, especially if you're into cartoons. But it's your boy RyianInspires, aka the little engineer that could. Thank you for lending me your ear. You can have it back. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.